Here you go, poker sauce. Pick and ban has started, but it's going as we expect so far. Disco, hey, welcome to the chat. Ooh, I suppose I should open up my YouTube chat and see if anyone's chatting over there. Hello, YouTube, I'm here now. Carlos. Buffy. Everyone's here. Carlos, first time seeing Virelia so far. Well, let's see if we get some Virelia action. On MX's side. MX's player 2 on Windy Outpost. Seems like a 50% win, 50% loss for him. Okay, let's get the Dober Cam. No, that's not the Dober Cam. That's very tiny Langrisser. Tiny Langrisser? What's this? What's this? Hey! Alright, we got the Dober Cam working. There's Sauce. Back to the stream for now. Oh wait, my cam's still off. There I am. Okay. Lighting might be weird. Okay, last things last. Time to actually eat my noodles, and then we can talk about this game. Alright, so MX going with first pick AO. Potentially to slow down a Absol rush. Now, Absol, first pick Celica, second pick Eshin. I have a feeling he's going to be going for a kind of standard... Well, he's got all DPS, so yeah, interesting. These guys are just such strong, versatile top picks anyway. Like, they can do anything with any team. Well, there's a reason why Applesauce is surprisingly tame. Okay, so Beans has just come down and joined her. Let's take a quick look. I got a new lens for the Dober Cam. It's a wider angle lens, so we get to see the entire couch now. And the Sauce, Mrs. Kong had her at a dog sport event all day today, like from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m., and she just got home. So she's been basically doing sports for, I don't know, 8 hours, and then driving for an hour each way. So she is pretty zonked. That said, she's also still a puppy, so there's a decent chance that once things get going here, she'll start screaming like she usually does. Screaming right into the microphone for me to play with one of her toys or something. Okay, let's get this out of here. We'll do a pre-stream 4 while Pick and Ban is still on. Both players getting AO out. So we're going to get to see some high-pick Bright Summoner. See what some, like, actual top-tier Bright Summoner play looks like. I did not go back and check in advance whether these players are using Mage or Holy Bright Summoners, so that will be a surprise to all of us here as the deployment phase continues. I would have a feeling that MX might be more on the Mage side, but he's not going to be getting any kind of first turn assassination out of her as player 2, or like first action assassination out of her, so she can still be dangerous as a mage assassin, though. Obviously, Absol doesn't really have any tanks to worry about anyway, so Holy would do well here as well. How has my week been so far, Carlos? Kind of hectic. Yeah, kind of hectic. Just in general. I have a couple friends who are down visiting from Toronto, and I was supposed to hang out with them today, and kind of at the last minute that got pushed back. They're here for a wedding, so like wedding weekends are always frantic anyway, so it was kind of up in the air like exactly when we were going to hang out or what we were going to do. So they got called away to some wedding stuff, and I basically am now dog sitting and stream sitting So yeah, cooked myself up some traditional Canadian noodles, aka craft dinner. So this is going to be another eating stream, unfortunately, but nice quick food. Ooh, we're going to get to see Virelia and Gintoki in action. So we know what Gintoki does, but we don't get to see him that often these days. So Carlos, here's a Virelia for you. And yeah, Gintoki as well, interesting. Buffy, I'm so glad you asked. Got a delicious Gatorade Zero here on the go to keep me hydrated. Very important when eating noodles. So overall, very aggressive box on both sides. Neither side bothering to deal with the kind of traditional tank and healer teams that some of us might be accustomed to. We do have the Act again on Absol's side to make up for the fact that one of his units is a healer. That said, I mean, she could turn herself into a DPS if she wants. Celica and Isolde also combo quite nicely because she can help speed up Isolde's transformations, so we may see Absol doing some shenanigans there. With the Act again too, although he may not want to cede turn priority to MX right away. MX, on the other hand, potentially has all DPS, assuming this Chris is a DPS. Gintoki also with the conditional Act again if any of these units happen to die, and we do know that AO can die for free. There's also a Unicorn that can die a couple times, which could empower that Gintoki. Overall, I think I give the DPS aggression edge a little bit to MX in this one, although I favor Absol's chances of winning just because Isolde is so powerful. So we do have mass heal on this Celica. Let's see if Absol is going to open with AO and throw some chains out on MX right away. So we do have a mage, Chris. And it is kitted out like a normal turn 1 engage Chris. So she has the summon. She also has AoE. Chris's like to jump in, like send the unicorn in, whiff a kill, and then teleport to the unicorn and AoE the enemy team to get them prepped for the rest of the team to come in. So Absol does open with AO, that's smart. Slowing down the enemy AO, slowing down the enemy Nemia. That means this Nemia shouldn't be able to reach right here on turn 1. And Carlos, I'm with you. I'm interested in seeing what this Virelia can do. Yeah. Oh, you know what? One thing let's get this monitor back up to where it should be. There, now I can see everything. A little bit makes a big difference. So Absol's spreading out a little bit just to make sure that if that Chris does decide to make the jump right on this turn, she can't hit the whole team. Although Absol has a few other AoEs to worry about here. Yeah, MX brought AoE on his Awakened one, so there's a black hole there. Obviously, Nemia is an AoE threat. Virelia is a big AoE threat. A multiple AoE threat. Oh, Carlos, do you mean Bright Summoner? Bright Summoner can be a turn 1 aggressor as mage class, as long as she's built correctly, which I'm assuming MX, the way his box looks, he probably has her built for that. Yeah, he's got boots on his Bright Summoner, so that's how you do it, turn 1. Virelia needs a little bit of time to charge up. I'm actually surprised the dogs aren't bugging me more over these noodles. Okay, so we are gonna see... Yep, Absol is speeding up. Interesting that he opted to 3C first. He's probably planning for a more immediate engagement with MX. Normally what you can do with Celica is you don't use your 3C yet, you just use the hour, or what do you call those? The scales, like the speed up thing. So that speeds up Isolda's act again, so she can use it again at the start of the next turn. Meanwhile, Celica still has her act again, so she can use that, get her scales back, cast it on Isolda again next turn. To refresh her act again. But Absol might be thinking he's going to have MX up in his grill next turn, so he's not going to have time to, like, keep doing this, like, dance of Celica and Isolda act-agains. He wants to have his Isolda ready with a revive for something to happen next turn. I know chowing down on food is like the most flattering thing a streamer can do. But there's definitely going to be at least a couple people out there who are into it. Hey, Rice Crew. Welcome to the stream. You're here right in time. MX versus Absol pretty much just got started. You can see their drafts here. And Absol is spreading out, preparing for a rush. Ooh, now this is an interesting move. This is a post-Nemia unique equipment move. So now her allies can benefit from mobility mitigation by stopping on her tiles. So he knows that he's not getting her, because of the AO chains, he's not getting her in there to AoE Absol's entire team right away. So he just wants to throw down a bunch of tiles that the rest of his allies can benefit from. Particularly, that makes the Virelia a bit more threatening, because she can move up a little bit. She gets her act again from her talent. And the tiles will give her a bit more threat range. Supa dupa, I knew someone in there would say it. It had to be someone from YouTube would say it. I shouldn't say that. I mean, technically, you know what? Hot Ones, like the Hot Wing interview show, which is like one of the biggest shows on YouTube, technically that's mukbang, right? I mean, obviously it is. The reason people tune in is to watch, like, famous people suffer through hot wings. There are so many people who do their own, like, homemade versions of that show, too. Like, I think you can order the sauces and stuff. Make your own, like, gauntlet of hot wings. I think my nephew would be up for that. Then the trouble is interesting interview questions. I should do a version of that where I eat hot wings and I take, like, I'll collect questions from, like, the YouTube comments and from Discord in advance, and it'll be like you guys interview me while I'm eating hot wings. Okay, so MX is thinking about his next move. Oh, you only get mobility mitigation when you're going through the actual aquatic blocks, though. Okay. So the fact that there are so few of them here gives... I mean, he wants his units to move straight up the middle lane anyway, so that's not as big of a problem. Absol doing the right thing, carefully trying to keep his units spread apart and out of range. Sure, Carlos, but isn't half the fun if the person can't take spicy food? Yeah, exactly, Avrita. Absol basically wants to stay away from this area. What was that buff? Oh, thought it might have been a breeze on Virelia at first. Okay, Absol parking right in the back. Still has the wings on Zerida, so she has some threat. She can move 8 and then teleport to herself. So MX also kind of wants to stay pretty far back unless it's time for him to pull the trigger. This AO can also swap someone forward. Kentoki with the breeze and the wings. Anytime that MX can give Absol does benefit Absol. Being able to slowly but surely build up this Isolde. That said, I don't think MX is going to be waiting long enough for the Isolde to be fully built up. This team is just like stretched back on a slingshot, ready to go. Super hot in here, so I'm going to be taking this shirt off. Surely that was a breeze buff this time, yeah. So she's got 5 moves, she has mobility mitigation on these tiles, and she has an act again. Carlos, we may be seeing some Virelia coming into play here soon. It's Absol's turn. Waiting for the needle to drop. Hey Nexus, welcome to the stream. I'm doing alright. I'm a little hungry, I'm a little tired, I'm a little headachy. But at least a couple of those problems can be solved by eating noodles. Was that just the King's Crown, Isolde? He can get his skills back next turn if he lets his stacks roll over. Seven move Isolde with Act again. Definitely threatening to anything that wants to come in from MX's side. A dupe of Transcender. Nexus, as much as you know I appreciate Transcender, I'm not going to revel in your misery. I hate off-banner summoning as much as everyone, so I feel for you. Okay, the unicorn comes out. Unicorn just getting into position to go do something mean at the start of next turn, now that MX has turn priority. This is also not a favorable target for this Isolde to rush in against either. Absol is going to prefer to get out of the way, I believe. Sending Isolde in there would just be a death sentence. Goes back. So she's got 2 stacks. She can get her next stack by getting a kill with her 3C. So whoever comes in next, if they're not sent specifically to kill Isolde, she can fully stack herself up. Yeah, exactly, Carlos. I mean, it might take her like a year to come back, but we know that they're going to be rotating the LLR characters, so you will have another chance to get it. Okay, the Nemia now no longer chained by AO is going to come in and get the ball rolling. More tiles. So more mobility mitigation for the rest of the team. And it is going to be a single target trade on the AO. That's not a great result for MX. I mean, at least MX gets something out of that, which is all these tiles. That helps the rest of his team. But the fact that AO is going to come back... The clone will still have some utility too, with chaining people, being able to swap one of Absol's units into range, potentially... Well, definitely getting a 3C kill on the Unicorn if the Unicorn is up. The other thing I guess Absol or MX got out of that is that Gintoki's angry now. So yeah, interesting trade. Interesting trade. Lots of little other moving pieces going on in that trade. That really depends, Nexus. The thing is, Bright Summoner is really consistently a high pick for all different kinds of boxes for at least the next 2 seasons. Ginzu and Mac, I don't want to say like niche, but they're more niche in the sense that they go in certain kinds of boxes and they're not necessarily like first, second pick every time, right? The other factor, though, is that they're a collab, so it's not going to be possible to get them again. If it were me... if it were me, I like to try to make sure I get characters. So, with the collab being a collab and not coming back, I would try to secure those, but that's not necessarily like the most overall useful thing. Yeah, I'm not sure of that, Carlos. Is that how it works? If she's off the field, will people not... Because they pick up the buff from standing on her tiles. But yeah, if she's not nearby, maybe they don't get that buff anymore. They'll just get the normal buffs that they get from standing on and eating her tiles. I have literally never had the chance to use her since her EE came out, because I was promptly eliminated from the playoffs. But I'm going to be using her a lot more next season. Alright, so there is the Unicorn sack for Gintoki Act again. Actually, we can just check on Gintoki since he's on one of these tiles. He's just gonna have his 8 move. Plus his act again. Okay, so unicorn sack, new unicorn comes out. This unicorn needs to whiff a kill with its attack skill for Bright Summoner to act again. It should be fairly easy for the unicorn to whiff a kill. Okay, there it is. Now Bright Summoner can act again. The teleport to the unicorn was an interesting Soul Stealer Helm attempt. You saw that Isolde was immune to it. But she goes in and finishes off the Eshin. Eshin was left with no stacks, so she didn't have her revive. But we do have Isolde action. She needs to get a kill with her 3C. She'll be fully stacked up and ready to go. She wants to do it from somewhere relatively safe as well, because the rest of MX's team is coming. Okay, so Bright Summoner down. Isolde is now fully stacked up. Yeah, I should have checked that Nexus. Can we tell from the unicorn talent? Doesn't look it. Alright, here's Virelia for you, Carlos. Erasing a shielded Isolde seems like a tall order, even with 2 AoEs. So shield down. Yeah, Celica and Isolde are fine. Zerda has to use her... Ooh, Celica barely fine. Zerda does have to use her revive. Gintoki and AO are still ready to come in, so this is basically MX just like firing. Can Gin reach? He can probably reach with his AoE, right? Oh. AO can definitely reach. Jumping off Virelia. I mean, you could 3C up here. She has a revive anyway. I was going to say you could 3C, it'll definitely kill the Celica and potentially also take the first life off the Isolde. But he wanted guaranteed first life off Isolde. Toki can basically do whatever he wants. Probably kill the Isolde. Yeah, that's the smart move here. Isolde was the big threat to MX's team. Now she's gone. All we have left is an AO clone, Z2 without her revive, and a 4% HP Celica. So it's not looking great for Absol at this point. MX making the player 2 rush work out to his advantage. Okay, Zerda gonna hop to a ball, grab her revive back, and who is she gonna kill? Honestly, I think Gintoki might be the biggest threat, but that does not seem like a sure kill from an injured Zerda going into that Gintoki. Virelia has a revive. She doesn't have debuff immunity, though. Decisions for Absol. She is going for Gintoki! Okay, and it's not quite a kill. I didn't think so. Okay, and Absol throws in the towel after missing that kill. That was a rough one. It was interesting that, like, as player 1, Absol was really trying not to give MX space to do that, but MX was able to make it work. Yeah, the thing about that, Carlos, really the thing about this whole season, is that pretty much no matter who you ban, your opponent is going to be able to draft a good team. Like, it may not be all OP combos, but with a box like this, no matter who you ban out, they're getting something good. So you just kind of have to make sure that your team, whatever team you manage to put together, is one that works well against the good team that you're letting your opponent get. Very frustrating to me. Yeah, exactly, Bite. There's always good combos out there. So we do see Absol bring up the Lostum, dropping Apotheosis. Lostum got a pretty big buff in the last update. His center cast improves him, and I don't know if Absol wailed for it, but the new accessory from the current Battle Pass, the compass thing, it can turn off opponent accessory effects. So it can make Lostum stun units who have Bond of Arashis, for example. It can also allow him to do chip damage through Bracer. That is a route he wants to go. But we may see some people getting surprised by Lostums for like the first couple weeks after that happened. It's just unfortunate, kind of unfortunate that it happened during playoffs. You get enough hammers to grab one item for free rice, but that happens... Like, you have to fill up the whole battle pass first, don't you? If you're accumulating hammers throughout this event. If you already had hammers coming into this event, then technically, yeah, Absol could have grabbed that already. But if you're starting from less than the amount needed to buy it outright, then you have to, like, finish the event and then accrue hammers. So first pick Eshin is always good in the kind of box that Absol is running. Interestingly, MX with the Lostum avatar picture, showing Lostum a lot of respect by second banning him along with Emir. And a first pick Jace is dangerous on this map. Especially against... well, really against anyone. Ideally, with a high-pick Jace, you don't want him to have any act agains. Because he can go in, do his little AoE shenanigans, and come back, and then you can give him an act again and he can follow that up. So we're going to see Jace versus Jace. I know Rice Crew's super pumped over on Twitch. Giant Jace fan over there. I will say on stream, just kidding, because I don't want anyone thinking... It would be unfair for me to allow people to go away thinking that is true. Rice Crew, like many others, an avid Jace hater. There's just a random Gerald face floating around on the screen for a few seconds there. Jace, definitely the nightmare of tankless teams, and we're most likely going to see tankless teams here. I mean, they both do have Tyrantel to fall back on, but even against teams with tanks, Jace is a big threat. Funny, he's one of those units that like tank push players like to ban because they don't like allowing him to be out there ignoring guard. But tankless teams also like to ban him because they don't like him to be out there hitting them from wherever he wants on the map. Alright, so we're getting close to a mirror match this time. MX now banning out healers. Interestingly, Absol might be forced into a last tank. MX may want to do that, otherwise he's going up against Isolde or an Andy. Imagine the day when Isolde and Andy were left up for fifth ban. Well, maybe she didn't fit his game plan here. Virelia again. We've already seen how threatening she can be. The only booster we have for Virelia right now... Oh wow, and Absol leaving Gintoki available again. So we saw that Gintoki BS combo last game. This is interesting. We kind of have a similar situation in terms of boosters on MX's side. Oh, okay, MX opting not to go with the Gintoki this time. Probably because of the last pick tank that Absol had. He didn't have a tank in the last game. So Andy just gives him an option for ignoring guard if it comes to that. With Gintoki, he would have to punch through the Lightbringer. With Andy, he can presumably try to kill stuff around the Lightbringer. Yeah, Vermilion, I think MX is pretty happy to go tankless. He's accustomed to it with his rush style. Absol's got something up his sleeve, though, because leaving the Isolde there, he rather brought several long-range mages. So he may be hoping that he can hide behind Lightbringer long enough to be able to pick off MX's units. Maybe play a little more aggressively, push in, and hopefully get some picks before MX can... I mean, this is a guard ignore. Well, the horse is a guard ignore, but it's probably not going to kill anything. In fact, it may kill itself on these units. So he's going to have to be careful there. I guess the horse could attack into Lightbringer. And then Chris can teleport in and AoE the team. Like last game, Absol is limited on healing. So even just laying down a base layer of AoE like that could make things easier for the rest of his units. While we're waiting for the rest of the deployment phase, let's check back in with the Dobermans. Oh my goodness. Bears on. Alright, let's take a look at some units. I don't expect any surprises. Butterfly on the Eshin, that's not surprising. All single target here. Single target. Normal Jace. Truly, Nexus, it is the dankest combination. Alright, Absol not moving up with his Lightbringer. He's going to get set up here first before he starts deploying. So we do have AoE on this AO again. AoE. Normal Jace. Oh, we are going to see a turn 1 Chrysicorn initiation. So this unicorn is going to go in. Try not to get counter-killed by this. Oh yeah, easy survive. So Bright Summoner gets to act again. She'll port to the horse, and probably AoE this team. I wonder if the AoE can kill Dank. That would take the wind out of Absol's sails for sure. No reason to just 3C Lightbringer. So yeah, AoE the team. Definitely doesn't kill. Oh, no, it doesn't kill, but it does a lot of damage to everyone. Also, big debuffs. What's this, magic defense debuffs? Yeah. The magic defense debuffs, that also enables Jace, right? Jace doesn't need to lay down his own magic defense reduction. If everyone is magic defense down, he can ignore Gardam. Eshin's not. Over to Terror. Welcome to the stream, no worries. Happy to fill in the Langrisser void for people who don't have Langrisser. Now, what is Absol's response to this? He's gonna be counting tiles. Do these do fixed damage after you stand on them as well? Yeah, so... yeah, she has to get out of town. That is going to heal her a little bit, let her teleport back into guard range, but not kill the BS. If he wants to totally give up his portal's offensive capability, he could toss a couple down in this area to remove a couple of these tiles. Where's the other one? There it is. It's on Eshi. Okay, Jace is jumping now. This looks like a counter Jace. Oh no, he's just gonna go for the AoE. Man, Absol's team is in rough condition here, my friends. No healer. Eshin has a little bit of healing in her kit. This Jace is going to get counter-killed by that Jace. He's going to send the AO. The AO can 3C the Jace. Didn't look, must not have looked to see that Andy had Butterfly there, so that wastes the chains on the Andy. Yeah, and Jace is down. AO probably going to get sucked back into guard range by this Vortex. Oh no, that wasn't a mistake. He was popping the Butterfly off Andy on purpose, knowing he would get to chain him again after the 3C. See, this is why Absol is smarter than me. Okay, now the rest of MX's team has to catch up. They're slowed down a bit. AO can pull someone forward, but they're slowed down a bit. Okay, he's going to make friends with AO. And then AO is going to be able to do the old fogging herself play to make Andy perma-angry. But this gives Absol a little bit of space, just a little bit, to try to clean up this BS and this unicorn before the rest of MX's team catches up. Bear in mind, he does still have Lightbringer with a revive. He does still have Eshin with a revive. Exactly, Carlos. Big brain Absol. Making us question all the automatic moves we've inherited. Okay, so starting with Jace, easy kill on that VS. And now we just have this unicorn. Unicorn still has AoE as well, so definitely potentially annoying. Also some incidental fixed damage if it initiates battle. Absol's not going to want to leave that unicorn alive. Okay, the portal. Thank the Lord, Absol. I forgot the portal was there, and I thought he wasn't going to have room to advance to the unicorn because of the AO chains. So Eshin can retreat back. Can't go back through the portal because she's already gone through it. So if she wants to get back into guard range, she's going to have to end turn. Okay, she's not going to go back into guard range. That's just as well because he'll be ignoring guard. Potentially. Ooh, act again on the Jace. This Jace didn't use his teleport yet either, did he? He just walked and single targeted, so he can go forward. He has revive because he's in range of the AO. Killing the AO would also make Andy angry. This is potentially an anti-Virelia play. Virelia has a revive as well, though. That's in her 1C. Yeah, so MX is going to hide her. Jace, rather than going for single target anyway, his 3C's gone. He probably just chucks a portal down to mess with this team a little bit, and he can teleport back. So he can jump ahead, AoE, and then jump back. Oh, she only revives from physical. That's interesting. I'll have to read. I mean, I think she's far enough away that... Yeah, he's going to AoE anyway. Okay. 10x with turn priority here. The Vortex will slow his team down a little bit again, so Absol kind of banking on slowing down MX as much as he possibly can so he can regroup this situation. That said, I've been talking like Absol's in bad shape, but the bottom line is MX is down 2 units. Absol still has all of his units, even though they're injured. And we know from like the past 2 seasons of Apex that Eshin is always a threat. So MX, not giving up quite yet, is going to have to find a way to get in and blow up the rest of Absol's team, though. That's the thing. Like, as long as this Virelia is alive, if she has any way of getting in, a lot of Absol's units are one-shotable. This Dank would be dead, AO would be dead, Jace would be dead, certainly 1 life off the Eshin. So, I mean, just because Absol has the lead in head count, he really has to be careful of that Virelia. MX is trying to decide how he's going to initiate. I mean, one option is wait for the Vortex to go. Doesn't last forever. You can kind of hang back, regroup. Eshin can reach, but everything revives. Maybe she could combo with someone to take both Andy lives? And that could be an option. MX thinking time is perfect Kong eating time. God damn. Lonebird just roasting the shit out of Hale on main chord. Good lord. Well, Rice Crew, I would be sharing, but the Dobermans are currently asleep. And I really don't want to get them fully activated. Oh yeah, absolutely, Carlos. They know what they're doing. They're probably just wondering how they're going to buff AO. Speaking of activating the Dobermans, hey, Eshin's gonna make her move. Goes for the Virelia. There's a nice little Virelia opening there. She does revive, but she's stunned. For Absol, that's totally worth it. Applesauce has a thing. I mean, Dobermans are bred to be guard dogs. So, like, we don't try to make them not bark, because we just know it's going to happen. But they both guard in different ways. It's really funny. The older dog will bark at anything she sees outside. But Applesauce is more of an auditory learner. So if she hears anyone close a car door in the neighborhood, then she'll go. I don't know if it's because she thinks someone is here, like someone's getting ready to come in. All right. New turn. MX gets to take action. The slow, damaged wall of Absol's lightning-bolted units is slowly advancing towards MX's position. These Dobermans switch position, it's hilarious. I'll have to show it later. Okay, Andy gonna buff up and go for the Eshin kill. First life down easy. Second life should equally be easy, even though we just have Javelin. Ooh, kind of made it look close the way the numbers slowed down there. Either way, Eshin's off the board. Andy's skills are down. AO still a threat. Especially with that black hole there. Absol can't really spread out. Borrelia stunt for now. Absol's going to want to take care of that, though, because when she unstuns, she's back in the action. That's basically an Absol eraser. Okay, Absol taking the opportunity to get Andy activated. I guess him getting his act again and being angry isn't as important if all of his skills are on cooldown. He's also got a Moby debuff, so he can only reach AO, who is out of guard range. For now. The poor Borrelia, chained, stunned, and silenced. That's how you have to deal with her. Give her every debuff. It's the only way. Okay, honestly, Absol can kind of creep up. I didn't think that was going to kill. Can Jace reach? Yeah, Jace can teleport and then just basic attack into the Andy. He really would have liked to have been able to finish off Borrelia and Andy on this turn before AO comes back. As it is, AO will come back. Really, you can't do anything next turn. Okay, moving back to prevent this clone from being able to get an easy kill is good. Clone can probably come back on this, but then what do you have? You have a clone who's, like, in the mix. Or not a clone, like, you have a full AO who's in the mix that Absol can kind of combo down again. Jace doesn't have anything way back here. He just has his AoE for the next couple turns. Annie also can't really do much from way back here. But this Lightbringer is going to kill Borrelia. So even if AO comes back, it's going to be one AO versus Absol's entire team. Which... them's long odds. Just trying to protect that Borrelia at all costs. Lightbringer can still reach it. I mean, Lightbringer just has to basic attack this Borrelia to kill it. Well, maybe she can't reach with chains. I kind of feel like she still can. I kind of feel like she can still reach. Unless you hit it with the black hole and hopefully get more debuffs. Well, maybe you get lucky debuffs off the 3C. You, in fact, do not. Heal block. would normally be a good one, but she doesn't need to heal after this. She just needs to kill. Ooh, baby! That looked close, too. I don't know if it's just Lang is coded to add drama when the numbers are ticking down, but Aurelia stopped at 1 HP there for like half a second. Okay, so MX concedes. That brings us to Game 3. I knew this was going to be an exciting match. Absol kind of got blown out in Game 1. It was a little bit more even in Game 2, but with Absol definitely on the advantage. So let's see if we see any sidebox changes. Lostem might stay up because this is a good Lostem map. If anything, we may see Absol, knowing he's player 2, switch to a slightly more, like, I don't want to say tanky box, but something a little bit more defensive. First time we're going to see Absol as player 2. Most importantly, first time we're going to see MX as player 1, which is a big time advantage for someone who enjoys Rush. Okay, so the Nemia goes down. It's not one of Nemia's best maps. She's also not the best player 2 hero. Apotheosis is a bit more bulky. Overall good. First ban Eshin. Doesn't want Absol to have a first pick Eshin as player 2. It's a nice, smart move. Taking notes for Rush players out there, you know that your player 2 threat is Eshin. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit unfair to say his Rush ran out of gas. To be fair, Absol punctured his gas tank in several places. With the AO, the double AO chains followed up by the Jace Vortex. So MX going with first pick Jace. Absol banning out the Z2, figuring that he's going to have something in his face. He doesn't know what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be something. So he doesn't want Z2 to jump in and contribute. I really want to see what Absol's first pick is going to be. Okay, AO is a good pick. Those chains definitely help slow down the opponent. Absol got good use out of her in Game 2. She was less impactful in Game 1. We could see MX ban out someone like Celica, someone like Sovereign, someone like Emir. Definitely taking his time thinking about it, though. You're given backup time for a reason in these matches. Okay, the Sovereign and the Dank. Interesting. Doesn't want Absol to have the full Dank combo again. Or with him picking his own Dank, he also doesn't want Absol to have the ability to overwrite his portals. Okay, so Bright Summoner. This is finally Absol doesn't want to see that Bright Summoner in action. Getting her banned out third. And we are going to get to see some Desert Lostem shenanigans. I'm excited that Lostem's back. It's also possible that Absol is using the Lostem official applesauce skin. Don't forget, Right before he dropped out of the meta, Lostem got an official applesauce skin with a little baby Doberman following him around, and we love it. Speaking of which, let's add applesauce to the stream. I noticed that her little face is missing. There you go. What a cute face. So Vrelia in action again. For all her threat, like, she does kind of seem to carry the bulk of MX's pure raw AoE damage output. He's gotten her consistently, like, 3rd pick or later. Thanks, Rice Crew. Thanks for the reminder. Over, there definitely can be some RNG. I mean, there's a few things that are RNG in this game. One is, like, not so much with, like, actual damage numbers. There's no, like, hitting and missing, for example, like what Front Mission is famous for, or even Fire Emblem. But there is RNG around whether you get a critical hit or not, so you can do more or less damage based on if you get a crit. There's also some RNG around debuffs, so a lot of the characters' spells and skills inflict debuffs out of, like, a big pool of debuffs, so which one lands is often determined by RNG. Sometimes you can get debuffs that don't really screw you up that much, and sometimes you can get hit with a debuff that is absolutely catastrophic for your team, so you do kind of have the opportunity to build your characters around that to some extent, to make your characters immune to the debuffs that you really don't want to get hit by. Okay, we're gonna have an Isolde versus Isolde match. Once again, MX with 5th pick Andy. I kind of suspect... Well, this is an interesting decision for Absol. The Jace would let him go toe-to-toe in terms of trading down more easily, because they'll both just have 5 DPS. But the Lightbringer could be a little bit of a home base that basically would force the Jace and the Andy, and to a lesser extent the Isolde, to have to build up their guard ignores or use their guard ignores. It would also make Dank a little bit less of a long-range threat, because she would have to either AoE or attack into the Lightbringer. But it looks like Absol is going to keep the pace high in this one, and go for a 5th DPS. So we are getting DPS versus DPS all-out mayhem here in this Game 3. Winner take all. Whoever wins this match advances to the top 32 tomorrow, and I will be I'll be streaming that one tomorrow as well. Let's go to the Dobermans for some color commentary, see what they think of this pick ban. So yeah, they switch positions. Does applesauce on the left, old beans on the right. You can just barely see Beans has some little white fur on her cheeks. She's getting up there. She's gonna be 12 years old this fall, which for a Doberman is like... I don't want to say unheard of, but it's old for a Doberman. Okay, so the players should be just about finished deploying, picking soldiers, picking positions, picking covenants. If you're MX, which covenant do you want to use here? Probably Loki, right? You want Probably want to prime your Varelia to do as much damage as possible. Isolde's killing whatever anyway, Andy's killing anyway. We don't get to see that part, unfortunately. So it is an AoE dank. Everything else very normal here. We've got the giant lizards on the Isoldas. Black hole. Accelerated aid and air slash, so no AoE here. Absol figures he's going to have to pick these units one by one. And we've got the double single target. No need for guard ignore on this because there's no even potential off-tank, like physical-only off-tanks on MX's side. So, 2 killing skills. Oh, do we have a way of telling if this Loston is on? I think that must be not Compass, because doesn't Compass increase your MDEF as well? Okay, the dank portal's going out. Let's see how Absol's going to weather this storm. MX is in his element. He is player 1. He has Varelia and Dank together again at last. That means Varelia can stand here, act again, come out her portal, and then it is AoE time. So Absol going to want to be careful of that for sure. Let's get this Gatorade topped up. Okay, binding the Jace, so he doesn't have as much forward momentum to grab onto, like, a desert tile, I guess? I don't know what he can actually still reach. Ooh, a breeze on Absol's own Jace. That's intriguing. That's intriguing. Varelia with the heal block. Interesting. That means this AO... Yeah, and he's buff blocked. This AO must have the new staff from the Battle Pass. That's what that staff does. When you use any skill on an enemy, it gives them a strong debuff. So it's really good on AO because you can basically hit your opponent with random strong debuffs all the way across the map at the very start of the game with her chains. So yeah, Absol grabbed some new Battle Pass equipment. Just in time for this match. Good for him. And it's a butterfly on Apotheosis as well. Again, a butterfly on this Andy. No surprises there. We've seen that already. Carlos, it does. I think it has plus 5% int, doesn't it? It's not as much int as a normal int staff, but I mean, there are people who definitely want it. AO is one. I know Ozmo was talking about getting one to put on Gustav for debuff overwhelm cheese. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that live on stream for anyone who runs into him on ladder. Watch out for debuffs. I'd like to get a couple of them, but I need at least a couple for PvE purposes. There's going to be a couple worked into Ancient Beckoning metas coming up. Almost anyone, Avarita. Almost anyone that has reach. There are some units that still want as much int as possible. Like, units that can kind of pivot single target as well. I'm thinking like, well, I mean, Varelia is an obvious one. You want her to have as much int as possible. I'd probably want like still to keep Red Moon on my Arkenfell, just because I want him to have as much int as possible. Taking that 5% int hit on certain mages is not ideal. But yeah, Awakened one is the obvious no-brainer pick. Okay, interesting. So the staff's supposed to have plus 5% HP, not int. So that makes it even more of a case of anyone who you want to have high int and get one-shot kills with single target, don't put that staff on them. The main reason it's good on AO is because she has those chains that are like free map-wide skills that don't require int, and her 3C kinda doesn't require int because it does so much damage if you can separate your enemies. Oh, these thinking positional games make me not nervous, not anxious, not bored. It'd be fun to have Absol and MX both mic'd so we can hear them as they're like planning to themselves, assuming that they like mumble to themselves and talk about their own strategy. But to have, like, both players in a game kind of commentating on their match as if they were streamers, but not have each other able to hear it, I think that would be, like, an interesting look into the strategy of an Apex match. I remember a few seasons ago, I think it was Tenacious Rope who was streaming. He was playing against Freed, and Freed was also streaming on his own stream. So you could open both streams and hear them like commentating their own decision making, and having those like two commentators overlapping was very interesting because you could hear Tenacious Rope saying like, oh, if he does this and he does this, and then Freed would do something else, and it was just an interesting dynamic back and forth. Waifu Wars could do that, because those guys basically all get in their own Discord chat while they're playing games with each other. Okay, so the Isolde picks up the AoE talent. She is going through the portal. Alright, and gets the opportunity to kill Apotheosis before he transforms, so before he gets his revive. That 3C kill will also net her another stack, so she has her AoE stack and her healing stack. She has no shield, though, and no revive, so it's unlikely that she'll have the opportunity to fully stack up. Absol probably finishes her off before the start of next turn. Yeah, and he doesn't try to greed it either. He goes all out with the Jace skill. The only thing is, does that endanger his Jace by moving him up like that? Some people might try to play it like that, Carlos, but honestly, I think that, like, Ice is another good example of a unit who has, like, a clearly better weapon. I think Nightbloom on Ice is really good. She has lots of opportunities to wipe debuffs off your team for free. Any unit like that who can get multiple uses out of a piece of equipment effect, it really makes that equipment more viable on them. Kind of like how Bright Summoner is really good with Tenyo, because Bright Summoner and the horse can both get multiple Tenyo effects per turn. So you can kind of try RNG Tenyo your whole team just with that one unit. So, Isolde for Apotheosis. I don't know if I really like that trade. For MX. Absol gets much more time here to continue building his own Isolde. That could be problematic as well. So everyone walking off their AO chains. After this match, we'll go back through the brackets and see how everyone else did, see if there are any games that are still on that we want to watch the end of first and foremost. And then after that, we'll look over how all of our friendos performed. Okay, Jace with that breeze. Gonna make some good use of it. He only has the AoE, but that can get dangerous. Ooh, nice damage too. He can teleport all the way back to safety, and now we have a Vortex right here on the back lines. That makes it difficult for MX. I mean, not super difficult since he can just walk onto the portal if he wants to, but that'll expose his units. So if he wants to get away from the encroaching fog, he's going to have to be very careful of his movements. I have seen the Vortex rescue units from fog before. You know, both players making ample use of their backup time. Absol basically just running to the other corner of the map for now, waiting for MX to expose himself. As he kind of has to. She flies, so she can be vortexed up to here. If the vortex sucks you onto the portal tile, does it then dump you through the portal? That would be hilarious. Exactly, Vermilion. Nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking for us and MX. It would be funny. I want to see MX find out live on stream whether that happens or not. Okay, the Jace is going to jump into the action here. He has his single target, he has his AoE, he's just going to counterplay by throwing the portal down on Absoul as well. He teleports all the way back. He gets vortexed onto the portal tile and doesn't go through the portal. There you go, now we know. The rice grew all of disappointment. Yeah, that would have been a comical moment. So both players in a similar position here now. Damaged, vortexed up against the fog. They've both been jaced. Hey Zilla, welcome to the stream. We're doing all right, Zilla. But yeah, that's a good point, Vermilion, is it blocks the portal. He may have wanted to make use of the portal to get out of the vortex. Although this vortex is going to be getting eaten by fog next turn. I mean, it expires next turn anyway. So if he can be patient, Virelia can get up here. Everyone else can just hang here. The vortex is gone next turn. Jace has single target left, but he's used his port, so he can't port. Absol, building up his Isolde a little bit more. A little bit more. He still needs one more stack. Breeze on Lostum is nice. Lostum should be able to reach something. Might be something that'll counter kill him. I don't know, is Absol gonna want to spend his Lostum already, or wait for a better opportunity? Backup time getting dangerously low for both players. He just moves out of vortex range for now. MX no longer vortexed. But Jace is covering up this portal, so Annie can't do anything jumping through it. Virelia can't do anything jumping through it yet until Jace moves. So that gives Absol a little bit of reaction time for him to see that happen. Oh no, good lord Zilla, I got eliminated on the first day. I'm just streaming other people's interesting matches now. Any match that looks like a good matchup. Okay, Blossom's gonna go for it now. He probably wants... Well, who does he want to kill? Okay, he wants the Dank. So, no more Dank portals, no more Dank threat. He's gonna hook himself as far back as he can. This means anyone who tries to come in for him is going to have to commit themselves a little bit more closely, which means Absol can follow it up with a kill. Okay, the Jaces. Laying down some little Jace escape places. MX with less than 10 seconds to act. He just has Andy. This shouldn't be too complicated. He wants to move him up. Yep. So he gets him up into threat range. He has turn priority as well. So Absol's not going to be able to, for example, rescue his Lost Him. That said, Lost Him is on terrain. And Andy would be far away from his Virelia revive if he went in first. These portals are going to be gone next turn as well, so Virelia can't jump through there to come out here. She's going to have to come up the old-fashioned way. She does have 5 move. Okay, let's see. What order does MX want to take this in? He's trying to do all of his decision-making during Absol's turn, because he only has... Okay, Virelia's going to go. She'll get her act again. I want to see what this does for damage. He's got... 30% MDef down. That's not going to help him against this. Oh, that Jace is going down. Oh! Ah! The Jason lost them both dead. AO barely hangs on. And is Isolde going to be able to clean this up all on her own? Andy's ready. He's friends with this Virelia too. He has all of his skills. Jace is just gravy. Jace is just bonus Jace. Alright, AO, what's the plan? Are you going to 3C this Virelia all the way down? It'll make Andy angry, but it kind of doesn't matter, because there's no guard to ignore, and he hasn't acted yet, so he doesn't get, like, the benefit of the act again. Okay, just gonna go for the Jace. Throw some more debuffs. Andy being buff blocked is interesting. I'm trying to get that Virelia as debuffed as possible, like in Game 2. Okay, Isolde's not fully stacked up yet, so she can't act twice here. She doesn't have her act again, either. She only has her 3C. She's gonna go for it anyway. This is gonna kill. Andy's gonna act again. So the question is, can this injured, buff-blocked Andy kill a 100% Isolde? Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. He's got no buffs. He's gotta go for it. No buffs from that. It does burn the buff block off. Is this gonna kill? Oh, it's not gonna kill. Does he get to go again? He gets to go again, but it's only with Javelin. He's gotta kill this with Javelin. He only moves one. Oh, it does kill the Isolde! AO doesn't have her 3C, she only has Black Hole. She only has 5% health. He aggressively moves so that Absol can't run back with the AO. Andy has no skills, but he has 5 move. This AO can't get out of the way, she only has 3 move. And she can't single target, she can't kill it. Okay, she has to just pray to roll a good debuff. First one's absorbed by Butterfly. Doesn't matter. Attack down doesn't matter. There's an insta-kill on the AO, and she doesn't have a chance to clone because she's the last one to die. MX finishes it off with a skin of his teeth kill on that Isolde. So GG MX. Sorry to see that, Absol, but thanks for giving us a very interesting and exciting 3-gamer. Love to see that. All right, let's go through the brackets and take a look at how everyone did. Okay, what do we got? Kitten Overlord. Kitten Overlord picked up a forfeit on this side. Over Tomato, I think. And Cuck defeated Frutilla. 2 games, so it's going to be Kitten Overlord versus... Oh, this might not have been a forfeit. He might have played in advance, because I know Meow had 2 accounts in playoffs. So he might have played Tomato in advance on that account. Awakened is still fighting against MikeLikesIt. And Meow Sensei defeated Autorun 2-1. So Autorun, a big favorite to win the whole tournament every season, is now out. Meow Sensei is going to be playing the victor between Awakened and MikeLikesIt. Let's just see what's going on in this fight, since it's probably very rare that there are going to be a lot of fights still on. Funny enough, it's Desert Map again, with player 2 also having lost him, like what we just saw. Kind of a similar situation. Both players low on backup time. MikeLikesIt backed up against the Fog with Sovereign, Isolde, and Jace. Strong team. And we also have Isolde and Jace on this side, except instead of Sovereign, it's with AO. So, very even situation. 2 turns left on these portals. Well, I shouldn't say that, because this one's going to get eaten by Fog at the start of the next turn. But it's a very even situation in terms of who's going to actually come out of this. Stray portals. Stray one-use portals in the desert. That was a debuff staff as well. It's a nice staff because it does burn through people's butterflies. Pretty mean, actually. This game is going to pick up as their backup time gets lower and lower. Okay, so Awaken trying to protect that Isolde to get more stacks. He has 2 stacks right now. How about this one? No one's stacked up yet. But it's coming, it's coming. Was that a owl hat on this Isolde? Interesting. I don't have anywhere near enough owl hats to think about that. I need more owl hats. Freekong was summoning for them, which I find hilarious. And it was actually the rarest piece of equipment in Freekong's summoning session, in like 300 tickets. So that says something about willingness to summon for gear. Don't do it on main. I need every ticket that I can get for upcoming collabs and stuff. Okay, Awaken's AO catches a breeze. Debatable whether that's going to be useful, because both of these guys don't seem overly eager to jump into the action. Although the Sovereign moving up here threatens it a little bit. Okay, Jace is going to jump in. Is this a Jace on Jace violence? No, it's going to be a Vortex. Oh my goodness. I feel like we just saw this happen. So Jace puts the Vortex on the other team right on the Fog. That's only going to matter for this turn, because that Vortex is getting fogged next turn. But it's good damage. Probably good enough damage to think about coming in with Sovereign next. We do have Heaven's Sanction on there. Ooh, that could be scary. Okay. Does Jace secure this single target kill on 100% health Sovereign? Yes! And lucky for Awaken that got the kill, because that Heaven's Sanction was coming to finish off 2 units. Now it no longer exists. So we're going to have Isolde versus Jace. Isolde versus Jace. Okay, Mikey trying to get into position to make something happen with his own Isolde at the start of this next turn. Probably can reach and 3C something and then hope that the rest of the 3C splash damage cripples the rest of Awaken's team. Ooh, the teleport on AO. Sneaky. Immediately, and Isolde hasn't acted yet either, so she's going to have the opportunity to come in here and just close the door, close the book on Mikey. Doesn't quite happen. Oh, it doesn't quite happen. But this is a fully beautifully shielded Isolde now. So that is going to be difficult for Mikey to get off the board, because she can just follow up, kill the rest of Mikey's team. If he doesn't one-shot this fully stacked up and shielded Isolde, his team's dead. Seems unlikely. I'm gonna try. Gonna try. I mean, I guess she doesn't have 3C. Oh, Mikey's was stacked up before Awakened, so he got to do 2 attacks. I thought he didn't have his 3rd stack yet. Oh, wow. That was a beautiful play by Mikey then. Awakened is in rough shape here now. Because Mikey can basically just wait and let Isolde do that again. So you do have Swap and 3C. Jace only has Vortex. Oh, what a great move by Mikey. Got her 3rd stack at just the right time to be able to finish off that Isolde. Okay, let's see if this 3C does anything. Shouldn't be as threatening. Okay, it does kill the Jace, but that doesn't really matter at this point, because this Isolde is Mikey's win con. This Jace only has AoE and plus 20% int. She doesn't have act again, so she can't actually reach. So she just climbs onto defensive terrain. Okay. That means Awakened can combo. Yeah, and then just hope like a normal attack from AO kills this. Yep, easy kill. Wow, and there you have it. Awakened defeats MikeLikesIt to move on to the top 32. Let's go through the rest of the brackets. So we've already seen Meow Sensei defeated Autorun. That would be a fun one to watch later. So if anyone is interested in a good match, Meow Sensei beating a several-time previous championship. KYS defeated Hakuo. Q defeated... who did he defeat? Kiri Jolith. Okay, that's probably not as surprising. So KYS versus Q in the next round. Then we have Gall. Gall didn't play. Maybe he played early against someone. And dear friend Cuck. What? Also didn't play? Maybe played early. People always love to get conspiracy theories about forfeits in their head at these late stages in the game. So Daywalker defeated Tien, and Defteros defeated Shidel Skull Dice. So they'll be playing. Zuko. Zuko 2-0 against Windseeker. That's interesting because Windseeker... I'm not sure about his Apex playoff performance, but when TSDL was still a thing, I think Windseeker closed out TSDL with like 2 or 3 back-to-back championship wins there. So Zuko going 2-0 against him is very interesting. So we're going to have a Zuko versus Olivo top 32 match. Those guys know each other. And Olivo did not have to play for it looks like. I know Zuko is leaving for Japan soon. Maybe that's like early October. So he'll get to play tomorrow, but yeah, he may let Olivo advance. We'll see. MX defeated Absol. We saw that one. Trinhav, unsurprisingly, mopped the floor with Boomerang. We called that one on last week's stream, so I don't have to buy and send a mop to Boomerang. I give Boomer a hard time. He's in my guild. He knows I just like to roast him a little bit from time to time. But he said if he beat Trinhav, I was going to have to send him a mop. Tiny ended up defeating Mystic Star. And Mommy Rosa defeated Supremo, Apex Addict. Another Tiny, this one a Tiny Poo Poo, defeated Brain 3. And Kyutaru got a forfeit of sorts versus I'm not sure who. Sycrus, maybe? Yeah, I think Sycrus. Yeah. They might have played that early, or Sycrus might have just done it on purpose, because I think they know each other as well. Sadao beat Serial. Sadao's a really good player. Kind of streaky in playoffs, but I want to see him go far because he's good and interesting. Boing Boings takes out Up Appa. Up Appa is another one of those players who's a previous Apex season champ. So him being out of the running is interesting. It's going to kind of open things up. Who's going to win this season? Kazgau took out Johann Liebert. Johann Liebert was another high-ranking... Actually, wasn't he rank 1 for a while? So him dropping is very interesting as well, and Yang Dead advances against Tear Grants. That'll be a good match. I think Kazugao can win that match. Over here we have Sabrak defeating Valabar. And Jean defeating Cool. 2-0. That might have been on Cool's stream earlier. I'll have to watch that. Cool, another guildmate of mine. B-Guy defeated Will underscore 2-0. Unfortunate. We're big fans of Will underscore on this channel. And he has an interesting box. So B-Guy versus Winston. Who did Winston? Winston didn't beat anyone. He got forfeit. Look at all these forfeits. So Winston will finally get a chance to flex his Apex muscles against B-Guy tomorrow. Wayne Ren defeated Kenji fairly handily, and Zanson defeated November. So, Zanson versus Wayne Ren is going to be a very interesting match. Wayne Ren is the returning Apex champ from last season, I believe? Yeah, he's the Season 17 champ. And Zanson, as we know, is also another strong player from a bit more back in the day. Back in the glory days of Apex, Season 9 champ. But perennial high finisher, right? Top 4 a couple seasons ago. So that'll be a good match to watch. That'll probably be the one I stream tomorrow. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We also have Jaden Nelson defeating Moondoggy in a beef grudge match. I think those players hate each other. And Mad 'Cause Bad got a forfeit. So didn't have to play. So it's going to be, I think, isn't Mad 'Cause Bad? That's someone's alt. I forget who. And in Group P, Hale defeated Mirror. And Leo Smart defeated Fresh Knight. So it's going to be Hale versus Leo Smart. I don't know why it keeps saying It Is Rainings is still in. I wonder if that's going to cause any problems later on in the Apex season. Like when it comes time to seed the, when it switches from this format to the top 16. I wonder if it'll be like trying to put both of them there. Anyway, It Is Rainings forfeited in the first round because of a bug. So the bug is probably why his name still appears as though he's still in the tournament. But Hale versus Leo Smart tomorrow as well. So yeah, no. I think what we're going to stream tomorrow is Wayne Ren versus Zanson. And then, if there's any more time left after... what else? What else? What else? I'm randomly clicking on stuff here now. Utaru versus Poop? No, I don't think so. Where was the Trinhev match? It's like I've clicked on everyone except for the Trinhev match. It's not there. Zuko versus Olivo would be interesting. Might be a forfeit. Hey, Trinhev versus MX. Yeah, this would be another good one to watch. Because Trinhev runs a really solid meta box, and MX, we saw today, does some interesting rushy stuff. So this one and the Zanson match could be two good ones for me to stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to log on like 10 or 15 minutes before the matches. I won't be like frantically making myself noodles like I was tonight. I'll try to log on a bit before the matches, and I'll put up a poll in the YouTube chat. I'll put up a poll in the Twitch chat, and we will decide, we'll democratically vote on which of those two matches to watch. Let's catch up with the chat. Why do two people forfeit against each other? How can two people lose the match? Zilla, two people can easily forfeit by just not showing up. But if you're looking at like this, for example, of lose-lose, that doesn't mean they both lost against each other. So one of them lost this match, and then the other one lost this match, right? So Vice Lord beat Aminoct, so Aminoct got the lose from top 256. And then in the next match, Vice Lord lost against Trin, so Vice Lord got this lose from the next round. So that's why you can see like lose versus lose. But forfeits, you can forfeit against each other if both players just don't show up. Before the Apex match, there's a little button that you have to click. And you have like 5 minutes to click that button, and if you don't click the button, you forfeit. So if both players don't show up, and there's a multitude of reasons that can happen, if they were both like piloted to playoffs and they don't want to play, or they have something else to do that day, like if their friends are down from Toronto and they want to go hang out, or if they have like multiple alt accounts, like Meow has 2 accounts that are still in the playoffs, so he can play one and not play the other. There are several reasons why someone might not click that button. But if you happen to not click the button against someone else who doesn't click the button, then they both forfeit. That's why I would always try to at least show up, and sometimes you'll see that in early rounds, like it'll say lose instead of forfeit, but if you watch the match, the person showed up and then they like quit out of pick ban twice in a row. So they're essentially forfeiting, but it's probably because they showed up just to see if the other person was going to show up, and then when they did, they were like, ah, fuck it, I gotta go, I'm not going to play the fight. So that's what I would always try to do, is at least log in. And then, like, if you lose, you lose, right? In fact, I did do that at Christmas. So, like, whatever, it was 2 seasons ago. I was in the playoffs, but I had, like, a party that I couldn't get out of that was right at playoff time. So I just, like, logged in on my phone and clicked into the match and then just auto-battled. Because it was Hale, so I didn't mind being toxic. But Hale easily defeated my auto-battle team, but it was just kind of funny. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go do the dishes and then probably go to sleep because I have stuff to do early tomorrow morning. But I will be back in time to run a poll to see which of the Trinhov MX or Zanson Wainwren matches you guys want to watch, and then we'll stream that one in the top 32. So thanks for coming to the stream, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe if your sub on Twitch has run out. We need to see those numbers go up and hit my 10 new subs goal, just because I like to see bars get full and numbers nice and even. So sub over there on Twitch really helps the channel a lot these days. And I know all of you in the YouTube chat, I know you're following the channel already, so thank you, I love you. Mwah. I'll see you tomorrow.